Alrighty, so we have game one, Charizard versus Dragapult. Tommy won the coin flip and has opted to go second. Looking at my starting hand, it's actually pretty good. It's got a Poffin, a Rotom, that's kind of everything you're looking for. It's actually so good I forgot to draw for turn. Alright, Ultra Ball's good. So starting off with that Poffin, I'm just going to do a quick price check to see what I have and what's in the deck. I seem to be eyeing up Dreepy. Maybe I'll be going Dreepy and Pidgey if the Pidgeot's in the deck. So I start off with the Pidgey, the Dreepy, and the Rotom, which looks like I have Candy Pidgeot in hand. With this start, I figure I can just set up a Pidgeot on the next turn and maybe do a TM Evo. It feels like if you get set up as a Dragapult, you're pretty good in this matchup. Looking at Tommy's side, he starts off with an Arven, which is always a good sign for the Charizard, going second. Seems to be eyeing up the Nest Ball and Forest Seal Stun, maybe to grab the Rotom. He's doing a quick price check just to see what he has. V-Star pops, wrote him down, probably just to grab Poffin to get a Pidgey and a Charmander, I would imagine, and fire off an instant charge. Establishing kind of the board state that he's looking for. My hand looks like it's cooking. It's got a lot of stuff in there. Start with the Arven. Probably to grab a TM Evo and a Poffin, I would imagine. Oh, Ultra Ball to grab the Pidgeot, and then I'll use the Pidgeot probably to quick search the Poffin. Actually, it looks like that was a misplay because there was an Ultra Ball in my hand the whole time. It would have been nicer to grab maybe something to discard with the Ultra Ball instead. Because I'm just going to discard this Ultra Ball, it looks like. Yep, Ultra Ball discarding the Ultra Ball. And I'll be going back a couple times here. Going Candy Pidgeot, search the Poffin to TM Evo, it looks like. And then it looks like I'll do the TM Evolution, targeting the two Dreepies, turning them into Draclopes. So the reason I did this on this turn is in case a Dreepy gets hunted, or a Draclope gets hunted down, I don't want to put very much pressures on my rare candy in this matchup. Looking at Tommy's hand, it seems like he's got Arven, and actually a lot of pieces going on here. Let's see what he puts together. It's actually kind of looking like his hand might only have a Candy Charizard and not a Candy Pidgey. Caping the Pidgey this turn to stop the Phantom Dive from knocking it out. That's actually a pretty nice play in this matchup. Plus the 380 HP on the Pidgey makes it so it can't be chased down very easily. I'm not sure Dragapult typically plays Lost Vacuum to deal with this, but my list does not. So we got an Infernal Rain charging up 2 fires to the active, 1 onto the bench Charmander, in case the 40 damage Ember attack ever becomes relevant. And Burning Darkness for knockout. Tommy takes the first prize. Alright, next I draw for turn. Looking at the hand, I top deck Bezendipity. I'll start off with these Draclopes just to see what I can get going without putting down an additional 2-prizer. I then play the Arven, maybe to get some energy into play, and I can, eyeing up the Crystal. That way I can quick search the Xatu to start setting up the second Dragapult while I'm attacking with the first. Fire and Psychic grabbed off the Vessel, and Quick Search to grab the Xatu. Clairvoyant Sense to charge the Psychic onto the bench Dracloak and draw 2. It looks to be Iono and Rare Candy. It actually... So I decided to take back which one I evolved because I want my Dragapult with the Psychic Energy to be the one attacking, so the next turn the Xatu can accelerate the Psychic to the one on the bench so I can draw cards and don't have to worry about maneuvering it out of the active. So we got 200 onto the active, 60 onto the bench Charmander. It's kinda tough. Alright, Nest Ball, grabbing a Duskull. One thing that can happen in this match is those Duskulls can start to get spawn trapped once the Phantom Dives start coming. So sometimes having extra basics in play as Thornton targets to be able to turn your Duskulls into could be super helpful. So maybe Tommy's thinking if I don't hunt this Duskull, that at least I will, at least he'll be able to get it into play later somehow. Oh, opts for the Iono. And if Tommy establishes Candy Pidgeot off of this Iono, he should be able to stabilize this board relatively easily. Ooh, no Candy. Do you ever just Ultra Ball for the Charmeleon and try to get it on the next Iono? I think that's what I would do. Evolving to that Charmeleon with its Flare Veil ability, stopping Dragapult from being able to place additional damage counters on it while it's in that middle stage. Hoping to just have it live one extra turn to set up the next Charizard. The hand after the Iono looks kinda tough. I don't really see anything that good going on. Start off with a Recon. Arven's good. Arven or Energy. It's hard to say no to those energies sometimes, but I attached Fire last turn, so it shouldn't be too bad. So I'll use the Xatu to accelerate the Psychic, draw 2, and hopefully draw myself out of this kind of tough hand. Whoops. I accidentally accelerated it to the Xatu. I meant to accelerate it to the Dracloak. You know, things happen. Play the Arven, grabbing the Counter Catcher and the Forest Stone. I go for the Pidgey here. And then I'll kill the Duskull too to prevent additional damage. Oh, and I have the Collapse to get rid of the Rotom on the same turn. That's pretty strong. Stopping him from collapsing away his Rotom as well, so that's nice. Next is the Super Rod, bringing back the Alakazam, which tends to be very crucial in closing out the Charizard matchup. I probably just want to have it back in deck in case any additional... Oh, I collapsed Stadium. Yep. Thank you, Tommy, for catching me there. And Phantom Dive, knocking out the Duskull and the Pidgey. I did take 2 prizes now, making Charizard hit for 240, which doesn't seem... So after Tommy's Iono, looks at the hand, it looks like he's got Fezandipity, which will draw him extra cards, and it's got a Counter Catcher. He could get something going here. Collapse, Stadium, and Fire Energy. Arven for later. I'm not sure if you... Yeah, you just Burning Darkness for knockout. Next I promote Pidgeot. Oh, and I top deck the Churro, so I got a kinda nasty play here with Alakazam, moving 20 damage off the Charizard onto the Charmeleon that doesn't take damage from damage counters. And then I Churro, put it back down, and then move 10 more to take knockout on the Charmeleon, allowing me to set up this Dragapult and kill all the Charizards on the board at the same time. And since he has 3 prizes left, it's going to be hard for him to play Briar because you can't play Briar and Thornton in the same turn. Night Stretcher, grabbing Dracloak. And I'll probably just start setting up this one just in case. In case my Pidgeot gets Defiance, Belt, Radiant Charizard, I grab the boss ahead of time, so he has to pair Counter Catcher with the knockout instead of just boss. Phantom Dive, knockout, and I just stuck all 6 onto the Pheasantipity. To me, it doesn't really matter where I put it on, although maybe I should have just put 2 onto Rotom to potentially have some damage to play around in case the Pheasantipity gets picked up here. But I have essentially as close to checkmate as I was able to make in my hand. So that's just kind of the best place I'm able to do. Going back to Tommy's turn, it looks like he's got the Poffin, eyeing up the Manaphy as a potential Thornton target. I'm not exactly sure why the Manaphy is coming now. Potentially trying to get something stuck? I'm not exactly sure the game plan with that counter catcher. Grabbing Iono to 1. Okay. I see what's going on. Looking to just buy some time. The thing is, if you don't hard retreat the Rotom, you just lose to Phantom Dive on the next turn with this 1 prize on board. And actually, with the damage on the board right here, just moving a damage counter to the Manaphy makes Oh, it just seems to be too far gone, so Tommy scoops it up. Although his hand was pretty close to having like a pretty cool comeback play there. Alrighty, we got game 2 coming up, and it looks like Tommy has opted to go first. Alright, Fist Bump, Manaphy versus Charmander. Tommy draws for turn. Buddy Poffin top deck, that's pretty good. Start off with a Poffin. Quick prize check, eyeing up the Duskull early, which if it comes down aggressively is very scary in this matchup. So after this Poffin, it looks like he's grabbing the Pidgey and Duskull. And then benches the next Charmander. Seems to be basically everything. And then Ultra Ball for next turn too. Sheesh. Looking at my opening hand, it's definitely worse than the last one. I think I have to use the minion right away. I probably want the TM Evolution, but I'm not sure if my hand will allow me the TM Evolution. Looks like I can. The TM Evolution seems like a pretty important play right here to me, because I want to put my Natu down and not have it just die to Duskull right away. Looking to make a Xatu and Dragapult. That being said, I have the Candy Pidgeot, but I don't have a Pidgey down, so I decided to go for... Yeah, the Pidgey must be prized, I didn't see it. At least in that first bit of the deck. Tommy's hand's cooking. He's got the Ultra Ball going. Discarding the Radzard and the Collapse. Already has the Candy Pidgeot. Very strong start. Oh, and the Mist Energy to go on it. Maybe he grabs an Iono to reset the hand, or he grabs an Arvid to further progress. He seems to be eyeing up the Luminion, looking to grab this Forest Seal Stone with his supporter. So looking to go Candy Zard off of the Arvid. Using the Candy, evolves to Charizard and Infernal Rain to put 2 fires on. Depending on how much fire is in his deck, he might want to commit 1 to the Charmander to use as a pivot, and as also a threat of Ember. And he does. That's a good play. The hand doesn't have much to work with, although it does have Duskull. Missed on the Charizard. Oh, that's gotta be annoying for me. Alright, looking at my hand, I should hopefully be able to attack here. Looks like I just need 1 energy. Grabbing the Pheasantipede off the nest ball. Just looking to draw a bunch at this point. Alakazam, Counter Catcher, Dragapult. It's one of the pieces. Oh, I don't know. Okay. We got the Dragapult, and I preemptively attached the Charm. Ooh, this Ultra Ball's tough. To get another stage 1. So what I'm basically saying this game is, I'm not sure that I'll be able to get the Pidgey online, because it seems to be prized. And instead of waiting and putting pressure on my candy later on, I'm just gonna get rid of it now and just plan to evolve manually and get a Psychic Energy. And I decided to hold the Iono as he's only got 1 card in his hand. So he starts off with a quick search, grabbing the Dusknoir. Oh, this is super nasty. So what he's gonna do here is he's gonna blow up my fresh Dragapult, which I assumed was gonna be good for at least 1 Phantom Dive. Off the Arven, grabs the Ultra Ball and Defiance Band to grab the Dusknoir. And he's for sure gonna explode that thing right now. Got the Pidgey off the prizes. And attack for knockout. So I promote the Xatu at the beginning of my turn because I need the Escape Board Xatu combo to be able to do a Phantom Dive this turn. So I just start off with the raw promotion and with the Pheasantipede, draw 3. I'm probably searching for Arven here as the main card. And Arven would be able to get me there, but I might be already down a couple Arvens at this point. Vessel gets me Psychic, which gets me another chance to get the Arven. Or the Skateboard at least. Vessel, discarding Ultra Ball. Clairvoyant Sense, really trying to get the Skateboard. Will I get it? Turo. Turo can move me out of active. That works. Turo picking up the Xatu, promoting the Dracloak, and probably going to use the Stretcher to evolve it. I wasn't sure it was going to happen, but worked out. 200 onto active, and then 60 on the Pidgeot. And what this does here, I'm planning on moving some damage onto the Charizard probably from the Pidgeot, and doing 60 onto the Charizard when it's on the bench for a knockout. But anyways, Tommy draws for turn. 3 prizes left. He should be, in theory, be able to win in 2 attacks. Alright, so he quick searches, grabbing the boss. Second Charizard online, which will be very hard for me to deal with late game like this. The key in this matchup is to soften the Charizards while they're setting up. When you have a fresh Charizard in endgame like this, it sometimes is too much to overcome. So in this, I have to Iono and do a pretty big play, but it kind of looks like I have everything in my hand. Shuffling back to Alakazam and double Psychic. Put some more gas into the deck. Iono to 1 happened. I opted not to play the counter catcher in my hand, but I feel like I'm going to end up quick searching for the counter catcher. So if I announce Phantom Dive here, I just lose because Charizard takes knockout. So I will go for Jet Headbutt for 70 to put the Charizard at 310 damage. Tommy unfortunately drew like a god and just has the boss. Then he had the Nest Ball for the Peasantipity for extra draw if I didn't. Kind of a bitter end there, but you know, you gotta play to your outs, and sometimes the Iono to 1 works, and sometimes it doesn't, you know? And it is a statistics game. Alright, game 3. So it appears that I have an Alakazam start with an Iono in my hand, which would be potentially okay going second hand, but grab the Dragapult and the Pidgey with the Iono in my hand for next turn. So Tommy's hand has a Arven start, the Poffin for the Steel Stone and Nest Ball maybe to grab the Rodon. Alright, he plays the Poffin, grabbing the Charmander and Pidgey. I assume he's not going back in. Puts the Mist on the Pidgeot and passes. Alright. Top deck is the Dragapult, which is a draw. Iono gets played. And no basics are found! Alright, so this is a pretty tough place to be at. So I think the best thing to do from here is to attach to the Alakazam to make that a threat if the lone Dragapult gets hunted down. It's tough though. Nest Ball. Grabs the next Charmander. And Arven gets Ultra Ball Forest Stone to get the Pidgeot in play? Oh, he already has the Ultra Ball. Oh no, Rare Candy puts Defiance Band just to Ultra Ball away the Defiance Band. Like he did in the last game. Ultra Ball discarding Fire and Defiance Band to get the Pidgeot. Then we got a Candy Pidgeot with a Quick Search. Grabbing Charmeleon, and it looks like a pass. Alright, draw for turn. Start with the Dracloak Recon. Both are kind of late game cards, so not sure which to grab. Counter Catcher might go on first, I guess. Arven, this might just be a TM Evolution angle, or make a Pidgeot, then TM Evolution. It actually looks like TM Evolution might be prized, so I just go for the Skateboard. Playing the Poffin to get some Dreepies. Alright, so Tommy draws for turn, and there's no way that I'm not just kind of cooked right here. He's asking how many cards in hand. I have 7. I'm probably so relieved to see that Iono, to be honest. He plays a Poffin. Grabbing Duskull. In the last Charmander? Maybe he just leaves the bench space open. No, the last Charmander comes down. Alright, for Dracloak to promote, evolve to Xatu, Clairvoyant Sense. He's probably trying to draw as much as I can. Do you have candy in hand? No, no candy yet. Got the Pidgeot though. Alright, big recon coming up. Alright, what do I hit? Nest Ball or Recon? Recon? Ultra Ball or Arvin? Arvin's candy though, so yeah. Alright, so we got Pidgeot online and the tool. Oh, that's really good. Alright, so we got a good attack now. And we have all the pieces to attack in hand without even doing the quick search, which is great. Psychic Fire being grabbed. Alright, so quick search. I didn't quite see what I grabbed. And then punch 200, knock out the Duskull. Alright, we got Tommy doing the quick search, grabbing candy. Does he have a Churro of his own in his hand? Oh no, Thornton. Oh, this is super nasty. Candy Dusknoir. Carefully not evolving that Pheasantipity that came into play this turn. So him popping the Duskull here and then taking knockout kind of stops my Churro play that I was kind of lining up for the next turn. Which essentially means I wasted my quick search on the last turn. So I could start to fall behind here if I don't draw kind of good. I have a Dragapult attack at the least in that hand, but that's kind of it. I might try to pair it with some hand disruption. Ultra Ball to grab the second Dracloak. Second Dracloak comes down. Stretcher for Sealstone. I have double Stretcher, which should give me Clairvoyant Sense and Dragapult. Trying to figure out the line to win. Yeah, it looks like I'm just gonna be trying to pair a Phantom Dive with an Iono. And hoping just to stick it for a turn and try to win on the following. Because I should, in theory, be able to Phantom Dive for some damage onto Pheasantipity, and then the next turn boss and KO the Charizard and the Pheasantipity, depending on how much damage is on that Charizard. But I think there's 200. Putting 200 onto the Pheasantipity, and 60 onto the bench Charizard. Carefully not taking prizes here, so I don't get one shot back. Right now I'm definitely fearful of a Dusknoir, a Thornton Dusknoir KO active play, so I just didn't want to activate anything with prizes that turn. Alright, back to Tommy's turn. He needs to figure out the easiest way to get this Pheasantipity out of the active. I guess the most efficient way, not the easiest. Attach retreat. Keep under the Pheasantipity to keep it out of range. And boss on my Dragapult, killing my draw power off the board. So he's got 2 prizes left, and I think if I don't win right here, I probably just lose this game. I'm checking to see how much counter catcher are in my discard, because I just played boss on the last turn, and I have the Palpad in my hand, but quick search for boss isn't enough. I need the Alakazam as well. The research though, I might be able to get there. Just play the research, I guess, and take a clean 10 cards. Nest Ball, Super Rod, oh that's everything. Alright, so Super Rod to get the Alakazam back. Nest Ball to grab the Alakazam. Counter Catcher on the Pheasantipity. Move 10 over, and then Phantom Dive, knock out both of those for 4 prizes.